I'm gonna get my voice back one of these days after that long sickness, that long flu. Sorry, I'm just trying to make sure that this video is going live. I did some rebranding yesterday on the channel. And so, I don't know, I can't find it. Anyway, let's do some quick analysis. Let me get everything pulled up here. And the first thing that we should mention is we have NVIDIA earnings after the bell today, so I'm not expecting good price action at all. In fact, I'd be pretty surprised if we had good price action. So any trades that we do take will certainly be base hits on the day, and probably low confidence, because I know the market's kind of holding its breath for those earnings. On the daily, we have gaps up above on both indices that are potentially good retracement points. And other than that, we got PDL below. On NQ, we do have this large gap that's really held us up, as we talked about yesterday, since middle of November. And so to break that would be a very bearish signal. Whenever I'm looking at gaps to inverse and to potentially take the other way, I'm always looking at gaps that have solicited a reaction of some kind. You'll see that when I'm on the lower time frames, 1, 5 minute especially, that when there's a gap that's supported price pretty regular to then go on to achieve some kind of point of interest, and then that gap is inversed or violated, it's usually a really good sign of retracement or reversal imminent. So we'll be watching this over the next coming weeks to see if we get a violation of that, because that would, to me, would certainly point to lower prices. If we hop down to the 4 hour, NQ not giving us much on the 4 hour. No gap, order block up here. So not much to see there. The 1 hour is just sort of ground higher. And we are open, by the way. Ground higher overnight into this 1 hour gap. And so we'll see if it wants to retrace up to these highs, which are looking pretty juicy up there at the 450s, or if it just continues its trend lower. So we are bearish on the 15. We are, depending on where this candle closes, we'll be bearish on the 1 hour. Oh, another thing to mention, we took London high and low already. If you're looking for a sign of potentially bad price action and you're looking for seek and destroy conditions first thing in the morning, that's a pretty good indicator. If pre-market London highs and low is taken, that can, now there can be different reasons for it, but it can be a telltale sign that potentially bad price action is incoming. So, okay, on ES has taken some pretty serious liquidity down there. Bearish, obviously, on the day. So I would expect probably a retracement at some point up to a daily gap as well. Kind of same story. A little bit lower of an order block there. Already been retested though. Bearish on the 4 hour. Bearish, about to be bearish in the hourly. So probably looking to see how this hourly closes. As mentioned, bearish on the 15. And so that's that. We'll see what it gives us today. Of course, this is accelerating past Asia low, so we could be looking at downside here. Down to 122 on the ES. Looks pretty good. And so much liquidity down here on oil. Oh my goodness, down to the 67s, 65s. Is that what it wants to drive to? We'll see. Order block up there, 69, 79. Could be a good reaction area. Wow, what a buy up. That's pretty good. If you like seek and destroy conditions, then you're looking for a move back to the upside. Not if you like seek and destroy, if you're looking for seek and destroy conditions. I'm seeing ES did not take Asia low, so a little bit of an SMT off the bottom here. Which bodes well. I used to trade SMTs as, so in this case, the asset that did not take the low, ES, so I'd trade ES as the stronger pair for longs. What I've discovered, though, is that's not always the case. I just look at SMTs as maybe a potential sign of reversal, or another confluence of reversal, or at least deep retracement. And but just because NQ is the one that pressed lower than ES doesn't mean necessarily to me that it's the weaker pair. It just means it's more volatile. And so I usually try to analyze after the potential SMT what asset is stronger, and not just basically look at it to decide that. Boy, what a buy up. They got slammed. Couldn't really do anything with it. It just now inversed the 1 minute gap, or it's about to. It hasn't even yet, and it's already all at the bottom. Yeesh.
Order filled.
I'm going to try one short there. Got a BPR now. 22-point stop.
Order filled.
Cut that break even. Look at that 5-minute chart already. I think on a normal day that's a good play, but today it doesn't. I'm just concerned, I guess, of poor price action. And it looks like it would have gotten stopped, so yep. I just say just be careful today for sure. Make sure not to go on tilt. I mean, usually I've seen a lot of posts lately, and I think it's probably just because people are trying to catch a knife. And when you look at like the chart, we've had more movement in the last week than we've had in, I don't even know, probably middle of December. And so I think people have probably just been trying to catch knives, and it doesn't work out. But if you do and find yourself in a loss, just make sure you realize it, make sure you understand it, make sure you gather data, and you're not using it as an excuse to, or not an excuse, but you're not going on tilt and trying to revenge trade. We do have new home sales here in 12 minutes, along with some EIA. Oh no, EIA is at 10:30. Pardon me. And then there's a cabinet meeting at 11. And then, of course, as we mentioned, NVIDIA earnings after the bell. Oh. All right, so we've got that SMT off the bottom, and ES is much stronger. ES much stronger here, so I'm gonna flip over there to potentially look for a ride into. See, the problem is, London High's been taken already, so really we're just looking at pretty much PDH from yesterday. Dang, what a buy up on ES though. Golly. 6,000 psych level here. That's tough. That's really tough. Not really a good buy buy spot that I can. I mean, you probably got a pretty tight stop if 94, 98, but that, I mean, you could easily get stopped out on a 1 minute. I don't like trading the 1 minute chart at all, except on inversions. But like, I don't use 1 minute gap pretests just because they're not terribly reliable. They can get run through. in the blink of an eye. Let's see if it'll stay patient. What did I say though about the seek and destroy, right? Let's see if it'll give us an opportunity on the 5. Of course, 98. My stop would have to be at 86. No, that's not gonna work. Too big. Let's bump out to the daily, see where that gap is at. That is up at 16. So yeah, probably not much of an opportunity for me on ES. Wow. There, let me switch back over. It just ran straight up to grab high a day. So, but the problem with seek and destroy conditions is that it just grabbed high a day. So now it kind of, I mean, that's probably the trade. You can't really trust it to go to PDH if we're in seek and destroy. I mean, it certainly could, but if we're in those conditions, you just can't trust it to do it. So. I'll lay out the 5-minute potential gap here. Oh, this thing's selling down pretty hard, so it may not hold. Looks like crude's waiting for that EIA, those EIA numbers as well. I wonder what the forecast is on these. Let's see. 2.4 build on crude, negative 1.4 on gas, and negative 2.762 on distillate. So. Oh, yes, right back up. Bought right back up. 10 seconds to the close of the gap. Tell you what, that buy up gives me a little bit more confidence for a prior day high run. Trade it if you dare. I guess you could look for like a solid confirmation out back up to prior day high, but I just does not seem like a good idea. What's NQ doing? About the same. Just a little weaker. Honestly, I think I'm probably looking for an inversion of this 5 minute on ES. Oh, I went in Q, sorry. Probably looking for an inversion. I trust an inversion more. I guess you could buy a micro and just try to flip it, see if it'll give it to you. Because you got 2 to 1 right here to prior day high, give or take. Pretty nice buy up out of the that gap on ES. Sorry, but my boys came up kind of right when I was in the middle of that. But so you had a pretty much a 2 to 1 on that if you just put the stop kind of below the gap and then target EDH, you're so right there, you're 2 1/4. A little bit below midnight open, you want to hide. It's always good to hide below
or above midnight open.
And you'd probably be break even, honestly, after the relative high was taken. And we bumped that gap up there.
Order filled. Order filled.
So ES has delivered pretty nicely, especially in comparison to NQ. To me, well, I guess NQ's, it just looks ugly on the 1 minute. But that ES trade is working pretty well. Looks like we're stopped about 1.5 from the TP. So, but a good 2 to 1, 2.25 to 1 RR. That's exactly what you want and looking for. I wish I would have taken this small, just on the off chance it worked, which it looks like it might. NQ is taking the relative high, so that'll be something to watch. But anyway.
Order filled. Order filled.